You know that you were put on this earth for the purpose of making a difference, of changing the world, of having a major impact, of being seen. But maybe you're still in that in between of being in the matrix and knowing it's possible to exit and not necessarily exit but unplug, and you know that there's this life of freedom where you can travel the world, you can make money in your sleep, you can do what you love, you can be in love and just do the things that light you up. Sorry, there's horseflies that are attacking because it's actually quite warm right now here in Ireland. And so you're in that in between. And I think that the message that was coming through right before I started this video was that you have to embrace the change and embrace that, or not the change, embrace the confusion and accept the confusion. There is going to be so much freedom that becomes available to you when you let go of attachment. And that can be hard, right? And it's an ebb and a flow. It's you take one step forward and a few steps back sometimes. Maybe you feel like you're finally in alignment. You're no more self-sabotaging, no more self-abandoning. And you're like, this is good. And then that person reaches out to you, or, you have that opportunity to make a lot of money, but it requires self-abandoning. And you're like, I'm going to jump right back in. When I quit my job in California, how long was that? 2.5 years ago? When I quit my 9 to 5 that I was at for 5 years, I had this really interesting experience happen where it was the low-hanging fruit just kept dangling in front of me. When I quit my job, my mantra was, I don't work for money, I have a lot of money coming in, and I work for pleasure and fun, period. And so I repeated that to myself daily. However, as soon as I quit, even though I was looking for that entire 5 years, I was looking for jobs. I wanted a new job. I wanted to work somewhere else that paid me more, while I was also trying to build all these different businesses on the side. But as soon as I quit, all the low-hanging fruit came available. And it was a job that was such a mirror of the job that I was in, from a really wonderful, influential person that I got to work with in that first job. She asked me to come be an advisor at her company and to do exactly what I was doing. And that was hard to say no because I liked her, but I was like, no, this is exactly, I'm just going to step right into what I was doing. It's not what I want to do. I don't want to direct photo shoots and video shoots anymore and make content for other people's brands. I have a voice that is just aching to be heard. And I was like, I need to do this myself. And so I was like, no, thank you. And then I'm writing my book. I wrote a book at that time. I don't have it up anymore because it was about toxic mold. And I have different opinions on that, and I will get into that one day. And then I had another job opportunity come, but it was going to require so much self-abandoning, and it was from this dentist that I went to the same gym as. I went to a really bougie gym, and he asked me to come on, but when we were in our meetings, he would just be staring at my boobs the whole time. And not that I have huge boobs, but he would just be looking at my cleavage, and he would make a lot of comments about my appearance. And I was in a meeting with another guy. We were both getting hired for the same kind of position, but he wasn't saying the same things to him. And it was clear that he was just inviting me to do this because of how he perceived my looks. And also he would text me inappropriate things, not inappropriate, but he would invite me to things at his house and stuff. And he lived down the road from me. And so I was clear that that was not going to be my most soul aligned work. But I was like, oh, I don't have any other opportunities right now. I'm writing this book. I don't have income. La, 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 la. And I was like, no, it's okay. And I moved to the next thing. And the next thing was, sorry, I think I just have to explain it this way, but I'm not sorry. But then I had an opportunity come out of nowhere where it was, and all these opportunities, I had no opportunities for 5 years. It's all energetics. I closed the door and all these other things open that were at my vibrational match. Even though I saw where I wanted to go, I had my mantra, I was still at this vibrational frequency. And so this is what I was attracting. And so then I attracted this boat opportunity. And before my 5-year job, I was working on a boat, on a yacht. And I was the purser on this yacht. I got very chronically ill from toxic mold. And it was a hard situation. It was a hard situation for many reasons. The owners of the boat, it became this really hard legal thing to deal with, and it was traumatizing. And then I got offered this job on a boat, and it was in the same exact marina, that one of the marinas that I was living in on the previous boat for a few months in Mexico. And so I went, I accepted it, because I was like, oh, it's only a few weeks, blah, 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 and maybe it will help me heal this wound. And I got there, same boat size, same crew size, same dynamics of like the owner and like the owner's wife being like much younger. It was just like no judgment at all. I thought they were a beautiful couple, but like it was just the same exact pattern of like what it was on the first boat. And so I was still at that vibrational frequency. And so I was offered these things, and I just said, at that one I jumped. And it wasn't like a traumatizing event or anything, and I worked on the boat a few times, but it definitely was like, as I was like making the owner's coffee and like like doing like yatsu stuff, I had this feeling inside of me. I was like, this is not it. Like, this is not it. Not that I really want to spend a lot of time on yachts, but I was like, at the time I was like, I want to be the one on the yacht being served, and like being in my abundance, being in like watching the boss's wife. She's like this beautiful, I think she's like 27 or 29 at that time. And she was just like so strongly in her feminine. Aslan, come on. Got the boys over there. Come on. Hold on, let me get them. Anyway, so I was just witnessing her being her divine feminine. She was just so confident, and like that was really radiant to me. Like I was observing that, and I felt that was really radiant. And she, at one point, like, they were fishing off the back of the boat, and they had the line out for one of those, like a Ukrainian girl or someone was on the boat, and they were teaching her how to fish. And so then the owner's wife comes in, she's in a robe, and she's like, give it to me, and like takes the thing, and like all the male crew are back there, and then she takes her robe off and she hands it to her husband, and all of their guests are there too, their friends, and she's just topless, like boobs out, tits out, and all the crew like have to be professional, and so they're just like but she was so confident about it. Like whatever opinions you have about it, it was like, she's so confident, she's so just like in her own. And I was like, what am I doing here? I was like, this is not in my own, this is not what I want to be doing. I knew I wanted to be in Italy or in Europe and traveling. I knew I wanted to be on YouTube. I knew I wanted to, be making a lot of money and not having to work for money, and like having money come in and just working for pleasure and fun. And so I left that, and while I was on that, actually, I started looking at tickets to Italy, and I started like making a game plan. And then I went to that gym that I was going to, and I had a workout class, and I bought the ticket, and I said, okay, it's time to go. And so in that time of like the in-between, you will get those low-hanging fruit options, which are just like manifestations of where you were. And in order to have a different life, you have to choose differently. You have to choose a different life. And so by accepting that job on the boat, it had like a lot of wonderful things in it that I got to learn and observe from, but at the same time I learned like, no, I have to say no to the things that I know are not in alignment for me, even if they are perceived like the thing that is going to save me or whatever, because I was like, oh, I don't have a job, but I knew I wanted to be making money, teaching online, making videos. And so when I went for that, when it was like my true alignment, the universe supported me. Within a couple weeks, I was monetized on this YouTube channel. And within like 2 or 3 months after that, I launched my first program, 21 Days to Rewire Your Mind. And that had 60 people sign up in the first month. That was like incredible. At this point, I think like over 1,000 people have started that program. And so when it is like truly what you want, the universe will support you. You just have to you have to step into it, right? And so you were born to be this change maker. You know that you were born to be this change maker. You know that you have an impact, but maybe you're in this timeline right now where you're a little afraid because you have to step into the unknown, and no one else can like tell you how to do it. People aren't going to hold your hand and do it and be like, it's okay. Like maybe there's someone that's going to hold your hand. Maybe you have a supportive partner or something, but you are the one that knows how to do this, how to get there. You have your divine team. That's why I made 21 days to know your divine guidance, so that you can learn that language of your divine team if you're, trying to speak with your angels and guides or your higher self. And then the next program I created was Decondition, which I am opening up 10 spots for right now for the next round of it. And I kind of, for the past month, as I've been in Ireland and had time to reflect because of my ankle injury, getting my van fixed, and like all this stuff of just like being in this period of pause, I've had a lot, it's like not really a pause because I've had a lot of time to like be downloaded with ideas of what I want to teach and, just pretty much teach online. And so part of me was like, okay, decondition's done, time to move on to sovereign and seen, which is for creators who, like spiritual creators who want to have an impact in the online world. Now I'm being guided to, because I have all my other programs. Right now we're in Wildly Wealthy, which is, we're on day 12 right now. So you can join that if you want to. Hundreds of you guys have got the free wealth wound guide. So if you didn't get that already, it's a 7-day journey to heal the wealth wound. So you can download that. If you want to go on the 21-day program, that will be linked below. And then after that, on the 20th of August, I have 21 days to acne free. And so I'm like, wow, I'm busy. I'm busy. I love it. I'm like, this is amazing. Like, this feels so aligned. But then I was looking at Decondition, and I'm transferring it right now to a new course platform, like just admin stuff, and going through it. And like this morning I did my breath work, one of the breath works in there, and I was like, this is so powerful. And it's not just about deconditioning the mind, it's about opening up to like your purpose of being here on earth. And so the reason why you would decondition your mind, and the reason why I created this program, is because the things that hold you back from stepping into that purpose that you have on earth, that reason why you're here, that impact that you're supposed to be making, is because you have these subconscious beliefs and patterns that you have to self-abandon in order to survive. And so in that moment of accepting the job on the boat, I self-abandoned because I was like, like I need to do this. This is what the only opportunity in front of me, and I'm running out of, options, and And so my subconscious belief and pattern was still there. And that's the thing, is that there's layers of it. And so I got to the point where I was like ready to leave my 9-to-5 job, because I had been doing the EFT tapping, I had been doing the daily visualizations, I had been doing the ceremonies, the rituals, the letting go, the choosing with my free will. I'd been going deep into what I really want. I've been like having that conversation inwards and being like, okay, I don't want to waste another year of my life. Like, I want to look back on my life and be really proud. I want to travel the world. I've never not wanted to travel the world. And so I know that's for me. And ever since I started my health journey, I'd never not wanted to be a YouTuber. Like, these were very clear things to me. And you know what it's meant for you. Like, I know you know. And it can get very clouded from all the different, subconscious beliefs and patterns and things of other people. Like, just being here in Ireland, I shared the other day, one of my family members was like, oh, you're like one of those dreamers, aren't you? I was like, is that a bad thing? Because, if I was in a state that I'm not in, like, I don't know, some people will let those kind of things hold them back from the life that they want to live. Some people will hear the opinions of others and they will be like, okay, they must be right, and I'm too vulnerable right now, and if I fail, I'm just going to prove them right, and I don't want them to be right, so screw them, and I'm just going to stay stuck. Like, that can happen. But these people, what they're doing, they're projecting themselves onto you. And so you can cut that cord. You can cut that cord and you can say, like, no, I'm going to go for this. It doesn't matter if you fail. I failed a million times. I started an Amazon business and I invested, I don't know, like tens of thousands of dollars into my products, which are beautiful products. I started a home decor business and it was called Renala, and I loved that business, and I had to close it down because when I did my yearly calculations, I was like, oh shit, even though I've been getting a lot of orders, I lost a lot of money in this business, and it just was not something that I could continue, because you needed to continue investing large amounts, and then someone bought my same product from my manufacturer and got it for much cheaper because they bought it large quantity, and so they were able to charge like much less, and so they just beat me out in the business, and so I failed. And that's okay. I've failed so many different businesses. I've failed so many times, and that makes me powerful because I was courageous enough to try. And so if you're afraid of failing, then it is going to be the thing that holds you back forever and ever and ever. You have to be okay with failure. There's no such thing as failure. I did that business. I learned a shit ton. I learned about, advertising. I learned about contacting manufacturers. I learned about, how products are made. I learned about, the ins and outs of Amazon and Amazon sellers. And I learned so much. And the same thing with Etsy. I've had multiple Etsy businesses. I've been a graphic designer. I've been, a clothing designer. I've had so many different lives because I'm a risky person. I'm a very risky person. But I know that in the end, and like at this moment, it pays off, because that being a risky person means that you believe in yourself. And if you don't believe in yourself, there's just a belief and a pattern that you can reprogram so that you do believe in yourself. And you don't have to be risky in a way that's like gonna put you in danger or whatnot. But at the same time, like I have a very firm belief that I am always supported and I am always guided. And even though I have this freaking van right now that I'm gonna get rid of, or whatever, I'm gonna buy a new van either way. And I've had this van that breaks down in different places. Every single time it's broken down, every single time, it has been in the most perfect place to break down. Even the one in Austria side of the road, but that one was fine too. I was still fine. And what happened was one of the owners of the farm came to save me in Austria and brought me back to the farm. I was meant to be on the farm. I was meant to save Ladybug and all those other horses. I was meant to have that experience. So I trust that in my riskiness, I am always in the perfect place. I just broke down on my farm in Ireland. Like, how crazy is this? Like, this is a farm where I could live for the rest of my life. It's been passed down in generations, like in my family, and I broke down here. I have everything that I need. I've got water, I've got electricity, I've got my Wi-Fi, I've got everything. I've got friends nearby, next door. I've got everybody who's here to support, people taking me to the grocery store. And so everything's perfect. So this message is really, I hope, to shine light on that it's okay if you're in the in-between. It's okay if you're like, you're meant for more, and that you have these big dreams, and that you're watching the people around you and you're supporting that people around you have those dreams. Like, I had this job that I was literally the person who would direct. I would create the concepts, write the scripts, direct, do the post-production, post it, do the responding of the DMs, like all the stuff after. Like, I was running people's social medias pretty much for other people who had millions of followers and like were able to share their voice and their authentic message in the way that they wanted to. And I was just being like the supporter. I was learning the behind the scenes, which is great, but I wasn't living my dream. I was very close, but I had this thing where I didn't quite feel that I was worthy of what I wanted, but I knew it was possible, and that's why I attracted those opportunities. So you're so close. You are so close. So if you want to join me in Decondition, and in one of the 10 people that is going to be in here, I'm adding to Decondition. I'm going to add new guided meditations, new concepts, especially for I want this to be really for thought leaders, change makers, people who want to have an impact in the world. If you want to have an online presence, if you have that calling that you are meant to be a change maker in the world, then Decondition is supposed to be that for you. Like, there's one of the weeks is on Akashic Records. It's supposed to help you go deep into the files of your soul and be like, what is it, and what is the blueprint, and how do I create that here on earth? And it all starts with getting rid of the shit that is blocking you from seeing it, because it's right in front of you. It is right in front of you. You just have to be courageous enough to move past the low-hanging fruit and continue the work, because you'll go through layer and layer and layer. Stay consistent with it. That's why it's a 12-week program, and the world is your oyster. And so it's my honor to be here with you guys. I've been having so much fun this week. I've been making a lot of creative videos, short form creative videos on my travels, and sharing that on all the platforms. And it's just been really, because at first when I was going through when I first got here to Ireland, I was in not culture shock. I was in shock because of what I had gone through with the van. And then my family came to visit from all over. And so it was a lot of family time. It was a lot of dealing with you know, you have these ancestral patterns within you and you've worked so hard to break them. And I love my family, but like I was, you know, moving through a lot of stuff, being around people like that I love. But so it was a lot. And so then I was like, I just gotta go back to California. I gotta get out of here, go back to California. I'm done with this travel shit. I was like, that's it. And then I got regulated, you know, like everyone went back home. I'm here with my animals now. I've got all set up. I regulated. I did my things that I teach in my programs. And I was like making these videos, looking at all my content of traveling throughout Europe and all these different countries in Bali. And I was like, I'm not ready to go back to California. I'm not ready to just like do that life again and get a home. And like, that's not what I want. So regulation and moving through all the shit, it shows you what you really do want. I am like so excited for more travel and more in a working van, but seeing more of the world, having more experiences, like going to crazy mountaintops and like going to crazy new beaches and like diving in the most beautiful lakes. Like I'm ready to live like that and to have my programs and to create my programs with my Starlink. I know like there's different opinions about Elon Musk, but Starlink is fabulous. I just hooked it up a few weeks ago and it's life-changing. After 2 years of having horrible Wi-Fi, taking 2 days, up to 2 days, sometimes 3 days to upload a YouTube video, this is really luxurious. So I'll leave you there. I'm so happy to be here with you guys. Thank you for all your support. Thank you for subscribing if you haven't subscribed, for commenting. I read every single comment. I'm so appreciative of all the support that you guys have given me. It's not just like, you know, liking and commenting. I really appreciate that, but like, you know, helping me save those horses and being a part of like the journey of losing Ladybug's babies and loving Arlo with me and like loving Duchess and Aslan who's running away. I gotta go get him. I really appreciate it. It's like, this is the best job in the entire world to me. So we will continue adventuring, continue traveling the world, continue creating, and continue guiding. And so it is. Bye, guys.